Welcome back. Last video I talked about Devilman Crybaby, and I expressed my concerns that I was a little worried about it and didn't really follow. Not that it didn't really follow. It didn't really look like what I was used to watching the OVAs back in the day. So I was a little concerned about it. I was worried that it wasn't going to be as good as some of the OVAs that I've seen, since it wasn't really looking so traditional to what I was used to. And I put up that video, and I received a few comments, but there was one user in particular that actually talked about, who actually informed me that the people that made this have a really good record. They made good things in the past, and that this was following the manga really closely. And before I watched it and trashed it, if I didn't like it, then I needed to read the manga and then watch it. And I followed his advice, and he was right. The series is amazing. I really enjoyed it. I really love the modern take on it while following pretty closely to the manga. So it was dope. I watched it twice. I watched it subbed and dubbed. I prefer subbed, but the dubbed version was still really good. So either way, you're not going to be disappointed, in my personal opinion. I really enjoyed how they displayed Akira's struggle. And what I mean by his struggle, how he struggled with his newfound powers, with his newfound body, and just like his mental, trying to keep his fight between his human side and his devil side or demon side, whatever you want to call it, because he still did have control over his human emotions. Like, they overpowered his devil emotions or his demon side, which not many people struggle to do. But in the beginning, you follow Akira, who is a big crybaby. Like, he's very emotional. He cries over a lot of things, which partially is why the series is called Devilman Crybaby. And he stays with his friend named Miki, who was very close friends. Their parents were very close friends growing up. So later on, they're coming home from school one day, and they walk on this pier, and these guys come up to Miki, and they start talking to her and harassing her, or whatever the case may be. And his buddy Rio comes, and pretty much say, hey, come on, Akira. They're like, hey, he's not going anyway. And Rio pulls out this fucking machine gun. It just shoots at the ground and is like, hey, he's coming with me. So they left him alone, and he goes with Rio, and Rio's explaining, he came across something and he wanted Akira to come with him. So they go to this little place, and some events happen, which I'm not going to get into. And he ends up turning into Devilman, or Amon, which is pretty much a really powerful demon. But when he turns into this demon, well, the demon refuses with him. And a lot of times, most of the time, when demons fuse with humans, the demon completely takes over. Well, instead of that happening with Akira, he still can control it. And there's a couple other humans that happens to as well, which you find out later throughout the series. And there's points where you see he really can keep his human side is when he turns into Amon. He's still crying. He still has like points where he cries like a little crybaby. And you see that he's still, no matter what, he's still gonna have that human side. And it gets, later in a few episodes down, he's fighting other demons and things like that. It's really hard to get into it. I really don't want to spoil it for you guys. So I really want you guys to go on Netflix and actually watch it. Some people, they might not like it because it's very violent. There's some questionable scenes in there that if you're not used to seeing things like that, you might not want to you might not want to watch it, or you might want to fast forward past those scenes because, like some of those, like I said, some of those scenes are very questionable. Um, there's parts. Akira's very relatable. As a teenager, like there's certain things that he experiences hormonally, whereas like I get that being a teen, a 16, 17-year-old kid is easy to feel that way or have, you know, those sorts of feelings. Um, it's very good. There was one point in the series, well, in the beginning of every episode for a couple episodes, the guys that were harassing Miki in the beginning, you see them rapping and beatboxing in the beginning of like 3 or 4 episodes. And I thought that was really dope. I really love that. Like I said, I really love that modern spin. It was really, really good. Like I was really surprised how good it was and how it just followed the manga just really, 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 really closely. And if you're a fan of Devilman, watch the series. Keep an open mind. Remember, he put his own spin on it. It does follow the manga, but he put his own spin on it. If you're not familiar with Devilman and you're uncomfortable with violence or explicit scenes, there are some. You're gonna want to fast forward past those, but most people watching Devilman already have kind of an idea of what they're getting into. But it's an amazing. It's just amazing. The ending was crazy. Certain things that happen to some of the characters you might not expect if you're not familiar with Devilman, but if you are, you won't be too surprised. But it's still like wow, like the way he gets attached in the intensity of some of these scenes, you're just like, oh, I can't believe that happened. So definitely check it out. It's so hard to talk about it without spoiling anything because I don't want to like ruin it for everybody. I cannot stress enough. Please go watch the video. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. And I will make another video, a separate video, when I go deeply in depth into the anime. And that'll be spoilers. There'll be spoilers in that one. But in this one, it was just my initial thoughts and how I want you guys to go watch it if you're a fan of Devilman. But that's it for this video. This is Sinister Arc 6. I'm out. Peace.